Hey guys, Tim with Big Dog Forge. How you doing? I got a quickie video for you. Did another Tong tool to put offsets in the reins just below the boss in the rivet area. So wanted to share that with you. This is what I did. Alright guys, what we have is a bracket off an old leaf spring. That's one I saved before, and several pieces of 1/4 inch cold rolled steel. The large one's going to be the upper die for this project, and we're going to start with that. I got a couple of 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inch pieces that are going to be the clamps to hold this thing on the hammer. I'm going to drill one side and tap it for a 1/2 inch bolt. And that's just going to pinch it onto that angular head on the hammer. Hold it in place. There we go. And we got our bolt. And our bolt doesn't fit. It's kind of loose. Okay. Try that again. No, that bolt doesn't fit. How about this one? Yay, we found a bolt. Good deal. Alright, let me get rid of that burr on the back. I'm just going to hold these into place and tack them to that cold rolled plate. And like I said, that bolt will provide the clamp to hold this thing in place. I'll be able to slide it on and off the end. Get this thing lined up. Like I said, this will be our base for our upper die on this thing. Alright, just like that. And we're going to put a stop on it so it only slides in from one side and only so far, so that it doesn't move back and forth, and we have a consistent stop so it's in the same place every time. Put it on. It's going to be a 2-piece tool, so the top and the bottom have to line up perfectly every time I put it together. So stops in this case are going to be pretty much a necessity. And we full weld these all the way across and on the back. You're going to take a little bit of abuse. I don't want them popping off there. Yeah, weld. That's enough of that. Let's move on to something else. Grinding. Yay. So we clean it up, make sure there's no protrusions, sticking downward, and it's got some nice radius corners on it so that it doesn't leave any sharp marks in the tongs anywhere. Get rid of a piece of those welds just in case. Alright, we're going to have to finish the rest of that up later. We need to get the base put together. So it's going to sit like that, and the upper piece will come down and press on that. So once we get our base put together, we'll be able to put that upper piece in the proper spot while it's on the hammer. We got our 1/4 inch plate. The boss will sit on this block, and then the reins will be offset to the lower plate. And we took that over to the hammer once we got that welded on, and put these brackets on, so when you put it in, it lines up side to side. We got our upper die on there, and then this is going to be our offset piece. So I'm going to need to pull that head down and mark where it needs to go so I can take it back over and weld it on. There we go. And I've radiused those corners so that we don't leave any bite marks in our tongs when we put those offsets on there. And what we're looking for is just a more consistent offset rather than doing it on the anvil, something that'll tap these things out nice and quickly. And it goes in. Everything's lined up. We'll tighten up our clamp bolt. And we'll give her a shot here. We've got it set up. We can bring the jaw of the tong right up against the end of it. And it seemed to work okay, but it had a problem. And the problem is that it's continuing to narrow the boss area. So it was 3/8 and it took it down. So we're going to put one in there that we know is 3/8, and we need to add a kiss block to this thing. So we're going to weld on a piece of 5/8 right there. So the offset block is 1/4. That'll leave us 3/8 kiss block, which is the thickness of the boss area. So that's going to keep us from smashing that any thinner. It should give us a nice consistent thickness as well as a good offset. And we'll test one out in there. That looks pretty good. Okay, we'll test fit in the machine. And of course our 1/4 inch offset upper die is sitting on top of that, so the gap is too high at the moment. We want to get a good look at it and get a good mark on that thing as to where we need to mill that down. We got a good eyeball on it. Took it over to the bandsaw and put a slice in it. And grab a little milling machine here and take it down 1/4 inch right up to that bandsaw mark. And that 1/4 inch up top should accommodate our upper die, which is 1/4 inch thick. So the plate and the die both will have a kiss block. There we go. Get this back in. Give it another shot. Looks good. And we can get our V bits in there. Alright, let's give this a shot. Much better. Came out perfect. Just the right amount of offset in it. And it didn't distort or narrow that boss area at all. I'm happy. Well, there you go, guys. Another one. Hey, what that does is it makes a much more consistent pair of tongs. The offset and the reins line up. As soon as you rivet them together, they're pretty much set up. There's very little tweaking to do after that. And we got something special coming up with the tong thing. So stay tuned and we'll let you know what that is. I've got several days off between Christmas and New Year's. I'm going to be putting out a few videos, and I got a surprise for you guys. So tune in, and I'll be posting again tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.